right, time check for you. It is 19 hours 20 in Guyana, right across the Eastern Caribbean. It's Friday the 13th. It is time for us to bring to you the Friday edition of the Lall Show. Now, Wednesday, both Mr. Lall and I were MIA, in other words, missing in action. I was all the way in the Asian county of Berbice, and Mr. Lall, well, maybe he will tell you where he was on Wednesday, why he couldn't join you. But nevertheless, we are here today, and he's all decked out. I'm finally seeing that all his Christmas gifts, he's now wearing them on the show. But you know, as the old saying goes, you got to save some for later. Don't wear all on the show. With that in mind, it's Friday, TGIF, drinks on you today. Let's give what you have for the people. Remember, you can call us on 226-745-324, 622-2222, or 624-6456 immediately after Mr. Lall's presentation. Sir, namaste, and the floor is yours.
Namaste to you. Namaste to Raj. Wednesday. I did. I had to go to a function, and I wasn't also in a mood, to come out and sit here and do a program Wednesday. Sometimes you got to be in that realm of things. You got to get into that mood. And you had time. I hear you had a good time in Berbice.
I did, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna visit Berbice sometime soon. I have a few friends, I didn't see them a long time. They keep on inviting me. And so I'll take that trip and go. Josh?
Yes, sir.
Guys, namaste once again. Tonight, you will hear how the Commonwealth body, joining the international community and oil exports, weighing in on the madness that is going on in this oil industry in Guyana. The same body that had to step up during the 2020 election madness has now put out a report. And you will also hear how Guyana collecting oil money and doesn't know how many barrels of oil are pumped or the price it's being sold at. You will hear a lot about them things down in the program. Joshua, we are sleeping, waking and existing in darkness. As the days go by, we are seeing thicker clouds hanging over Guyana. Many Guyanese can't see it because many of you don't know what's going on and how much is being concealed from your eyes and ears. Uncle and Auntie, it's Friday. Secrecy has become a sickness all over the world, a national cancer creeping in more and more in Guyana by the minute. It is becoming so disgusting, so damaging to all of us, that the international community is speaking out in so many ways, warning us each day that goes by to take stock of ourselves and basically don't deteriorate into a slave camp. Since oil was discovered in 2015, all you keep hearing is how rich Guyana will become. That's all you hear. At the beginning of the PPP return into office, none other than President Ali was saying how Guyana will become the Dubai of the Caribbean, a fairy tale city like no other is on its way at Ogle. 2 years done, and where is Guyana today? Where is the oil money today? We can continue to plant bora, baji, rice and sugar and become the food basket of the region. An old mantra I've been hearing since I was a young man growing up in the 70s and 80s. Yet, all this is being talked by our politicians, and yet we can't get basic greens and provisions in the market at a competitive price. We will be the food basket of the world. Uncle, tonight I want to focus on some more of the insanity that is going on in this country, where foreigners is actually pleading with our leaders to put rules, regulations, systems and laws in place so that Guyana can lift itself out of poverty and really get something tangible out of our resources, our wealth. I begin with an in-depth story my reporter did on Christmas Day, showing our government keeping we, the Guyanese people, in the dark with some of the most abusive provisions that sits inside our oil business. On top of that list is our outdated oil laws that are still in place. Let me ask this question. How can a country progress and prosper without the kind of modernized laws, rules and regulations to prevent wholesale robbery and being taken advantage of by the oil companies? How can we not have law in place to put us in control of our own wealth and resources? Uncle, you know what happens without that? Complete lawlessness takes over. You take what you get from the oil companies and shut up because there is no laws in place. 3 years after pumping oil, one would have thought that a modernized oil law would have been the first priority of any government, so that we are well covered to speak like the owners of that oil. Where are we today? Anything goes. The oil companies can do whatever, whenever and however they feel like, and we have no laws protecting us. I am so ashamed to say it. Yes, so ashamed to say it on this program. But our leaders see ganja, yes, marijuana laws, as more important than our outdated oil laws. Them ready to jail a man for an ounce of ganja, but not putting in laws to jail the foreigners thieving out our gold by the tons and the oil by shiploads. You see how smart these guys are, Uncle? They know how to run to Parliament in the wee hours of the Christmas holidays to rush through a law that gives them the right to spend our oil money how they want and how they feel. But the modernization of our oil laws to protect the country from getting raped and robbed in US billions, that ain't a priority for them. How you like that, Auntie? Them can pass law for thief the little oil money, but not passing law to secure ourselves from being robbed in the oil sector. You know, guys, when countries put modernized laws in place, they sit in the driver's seat. They decide the speed of the car and where it goes, when they should take off and when they should stop. Yes, the country decide what they do and what they don't do. We decide everything. Basically, uncle, we call the shots with the right laws in place. But after 3 years, and you don't have any laws to protect yourself, then the people can do whatever they want in your country. And that is precisely what they're doing in every sector of this country. In the gold fields, your diamond, your bauxite, your timber, your manganese, and now your oil basin. They're taking out what they want and give you what they feel like. All because you don't have no rules, no regulations, no systems or laws in place to protect your own self, protect your own country. Here is an example which was mentioned in the Christmas Day story. Because there are no regulations, the oil companies are taking out hundreds of millions of US dollars up front before sharing profit as cleanup costs, putting it in their pockets and calling it decommissioning funds. Now, had we had proper systems or regulations in place, we would have been instructing them what to take out and where to keep the money. Instead, ExxonMobil reinvesting our money, getting more money from our money, and we borrowing money from international banks to buy this and to buy that. Wow. I am pretty much certain that the international community reads Kaieteur news on a daily basis and is seeing the many dangers that lie ahead of us in this oil sector, because they are constantly putting out statements, uncle. Yes, constantly calling on government to get their acts together and do what is right for the people of this country. One organization said the citizens of Guyana have a right to receive all information in the oil and gas sector. Isn't this sad and shameful that foreigners have to speak up to our politicians and press them to do what they're supposed to do, man? Huh? What that tells you, uncle? I don't know about you, but for me, it's pure skullduggery going on from top to bottom. That's why they hide everything from us. That's how I get that headline. Yesterday, one of the headlines in the Kaieteur news says, all key financial data on the Wales gas plant not in the public domain. Yes, the money part of the energy plant at Wales is not for our eyes. We gonna see and we gonna know too much. And who are you to see and know so much or see how much they're thieving? That's what it means by keeping the money aspect of the Wales gas plant away from our eyes. Read the story, it's in yesterday's Kaieteur news on the front page. You're hearing about pipelines, the liquid plant, the power plant, cheap cooking gas, fertilizer, chemicals. You're hearing about no blackouts. You're hearing about 6 and 15 cents per kilowatt with no proof whatsoever. But when it comes to the money aspect, how much it will cost, where the money is coming from, and how Guyana will be able to pay back the loan for that. And who will profit out of the gas plant. That information is buried in a safe somewhere underground with a special lock and key. And Only Winston Brasington, the man who heading the gas plant, and Barajagdeo got the key. Man, when we don't know the financing details of a project, then what do you think they're selling you? Huh? If you don't know, let me tell you, they're selling you a dead pig in a bag and run away with the money next. That's what you get in there. Things are so terrible, getting so out of hand in this country's oil sector, that the Commonwealth, uncle, made up of 56 countries, to which Guyana is part of, just put out a report warning our government to take stock of itself, telling us the cleanup money Exxon taking out yearly can easily move up from US millions to US billions in the absence of strict monitoring policies and laws. You want me to repeat that, uncle? Commonwealth, a body of 56 countries, warning Guyana about the yearly money Exxon taking out for cleanup can move to US millions to US billions in the absence of strict monitoring policies and laws. They must have read our story in the Christmas Day Kaieteur News to put out such a strong statement. We reported the Commonwealth story in yesterday's Kaieteur News. That same story. And today, there's another headline in which the same Commonwealth is also calling on our government to ensure that the same cleanup monies Exxon is taking out would be there when the time comes to clean up the ocean floor. So that Guyana doesn't have to end up having to use the few tax-paying dollars to clean up the ocean floor 40 years down the road. So the Commonwealth report is warning us. Yes, they are warning us, uncle. And they can only do that because they had to know something that you and I don't know. They must have seen what the oil companies did to other countries that pushed them to put out such a strong message to Guyana. Commonwealth. So there we go, uncle. There we go, auntie. We are back to square one. It's the same laws, rules, and regulations the Commonwealth is talking about there to protect Guyana from a robbery train ripping through Guyana, through the Atlantic Ocean. Come on, guys. Like I said before, they have to be reading the Kaieteur News because decommissioning cost was the lead story of our Christmas Day edition. Besides, I have been speaking about it non-stop for the last 2 years on this program. How much money they're taking out in advance and keeping it in their pockets. Now you got the Commonwealth body is speaking out about this free-for-all our leaders are allowing. And Barajagdeo, our vice president who's heading the oil sector, is silent. Nowhere to be seen or found where these matters are concerned. The decommissioning money, if we don't regulate it to have a say, uncle, Exxon will take out every year more money than what Guyana is set to get from this oil on a yearly basis. So as of now, So as of now, uncle, you're getting robbed with the royalties, you're getting robbed with the expenses, the bills, with the interest rates, which the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund begging Guyana to cap. You're being taken for a ride and robbed more without ring fencing provision. You're being robbed with the oil sales. In short, we are being robbed before, you're being robbed presently, and will continue to get robbed in the future. And even after that, we will be robbed of the billions them taking out as decommissioning costs. Yes, the cleanup money. Every step of the way, this nation is being duped, deceived and robbed by the billions with the present systems, politicians and laws we have in place. What are we waiting for? How much more you people need to see and hear? Huh? Since we began pumping oil in 2019, several more international bodies and oil experts have been constantly knocking on our doors, holding our hands, leading us in the right direction, opening our eyes with so many things so that we can see and make the right decisions. And who is doing anything about it or saying anything about it? No one. All of you hearing everywhere they go, come and invest. That's all you're hearing. Everywhere they go, come and invest. Come and take what we have. It's yours. Man, I'm getting so tired speaking about these atrocities that is going on in this land. That's the reason why I didn't come and sit here Wednesday night to do a program. It's true. I just went out and had a good time. The most important aspect in this oil business, uncle and auntie, is what we are getting from this oil. The royalty and the little profit share. This is a beautiful story you should listen to keenly and carefully. Every financial analyst across this world is calling on Guyana to have Exxon show us the methods. Yes, the formula they are using to calculate with profits and royalties. And to this day, no one knows how and where our 2% royalty is coming from and how they're calculating the profits to give us. Can you believe that? Imagine we are pumping oil 3 years now and we don't have a clue as to how much money really belongs to us for royalties and profits. Is this for real, uncle? All Guyana hearing about is when Jagdeo or Ashni Singh say we get $10 profit and $8 royalty. How we arrive at that, even them don't know. Are you sure? Are you getting royalties? Or are you getting a small change for make you feel good? Yesterday, Thursday, Kaieteur News carried a story that I couldn't believe happening in this country's oil sector. For a moment, I wanted to hit my head on the wall with what I was hearing coming from one of my reporters' mouth in the newsroom. She said, ExxonMobil now hunting for auditing companies to check up the oil sale and prepare a report to hand to Guyana. You hear that, Uncle? ExxonMobil now hunting for auditing companies to check up the oil sale and prepare a report to hand to Guyana. This is unthinkable, brother. This is not a joke. This is a coma. President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, and the opposition them putting Guyana and all of us in. Guys, if you really understand this thing the way Glenn and some of my staff understand it, you would cry blood for this country. You know anybody who just collect a monthly paycheck and don't know what they get paid for? You don't know how much tax the boss take out, how many hours you work, if you get paid for the overtime you work, or if NIS come out. Huh? Who collects their salary like that? You know anyone? Well, in a nutshell, that is how ExxonMobil operating our oil industry since pumping oil in 2019. Your paymaster, my paymaster, our paymaster ExxonMobil, telling us them looking for somebody to check how many hours you work and what rate he paying all of us at. That is what President Ali, Jagdev, Norton, Ramjatan, and all the smart leaders of this country have Exxon doing to us with our royalties and profits. Exxon selling the oil for the last 3 years, and every 3 months them giving Guyana royalties, and none of us know how much barrels of oil them sell or what price them sell it for. If it's the real price or a counter price, but we get in royalty. And all these world-class financial experts we have parading themselves as business leaders, accepting that as our fair share of royalties. Can you guys believe what I'm saying here, man? This is not no make-up story. This is not no joke. This is factual. A country getting royalties and doesn't know how much barrels they pump and what price it was sold for. Is this real? Is Guyana a real place? And guess how the Kaieteur News found out that, Uncle? Guess how we found out that? Through an ad. Yeah, man, an ad. ExxonMobil put out an advertisement a few days ago in all the newspapers looking for qualified people to check the entire oil sales for the last 3 years and prepare a report to hand to Guyana, showing us how we get the money. How we get the money, all the money for the last 3 years. Yes. How you like that? 3 years after you collect your salary, the boss is preparing your pay slip to show you how much hours you work and what the hourly rate he pay you at. Look at the advertisement. It's on the screen, along with the Kaieteur News story we carried yesterday. Please put it up. Let the viewers see it. I'm so sorry for you. For those of you listening on the radio, you can't see it. I've been paying you, Guyana, for the last 3 years. And I am now looking for the right people to check how much oil we sell and what price we sell it at, to prepare a statement so I can give y'all. Is this a real one? Huh? Uncle and auntie, if this is not a comic book or a zombie country with zombie politicians, then I don't know what is. I am sitting here talking to you people, and I don't know whether to grin or cry or cuss. Yes, how unbelievable this latest shock is to my soul. I don't think I could take any more shocks of this kind. 3 years after pumping oil, Guyana knows nothing about how many barrels Exxon sell and how much they really sell it for. But we get a paycheck. Huh? Wait, man, wait. Don't you think billboards with this madness should go up every corner across Guyana? Huh? What do you think, Uncle? Tell me something, man. Don't you think they should put up a billboard with this madness all across Guyana so that every Guyanese can see how this leader is running this land? If a man so slack, irresponsible and weak that he doesn't know how many hours he work and how much they're paying him per hour, then what do you think the boss will do to him? Especially a crook, a dishonest, a criminal, a thief, a swindler, a scamp, like ExxonMobil. Be honest with him. Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday, Uncle. It's Friday evening. Now, think of your government. Think of your government, our oil, our honest partner called ExxonMobil. We get a pay from Exxon since 2019 to now, and we don't know how many barrels of oil them sell or what price they sell it for. But we get in royalty. And we government happy with that arrangement. Lots of people tell me, Glenn, please don't belittle our politicians by calling them morons. I want to say to those people tonight, when horrible things of this kind is happening to a country in which generations' basic survival are at stake, then what words do you want me to use to describe the politicians of Guyana? Help me. Help me. Uncle and auntie, 2% of every barrel of oil produced and sell every day belongs to Guyana. You want to tell me that my country don't know how many barrels was pumped up and what price it was sold for? No, man, no. And for 3 long years, these morons collecting money and didn't care to know how they arrive at the royalties coming in to Guyana, man? My God. I need to breathe. Excuse me, let me drink some water, man. Excuse me, please. Open this bottle of water for me, please. Wow. 3 years you collecting money and didn't care to know how they arrive at the royalties, brother? Huh? Thank you. Hadn't Exxon put that ad in the newspapers looking for somebody to check up all the oil sell? Man. And what price it sell for? Guyana would have never know that this is going on in this country. When I hear miss me from this program, it's not that I want to give up on myself. I give up on you for not doing anything, for not saying anything, for not standing up and speaking out, man. We done pass the trap and danger Africa find itself in. And we ain't even start production of oil as yet. Look for the last 2 years. The amount of information I've given to you people in your ears, right in your homes. And yet, what are we seeing in this country? What are we hearing in this country? Auntie, uncle, when 55 member countries of the Commonwealth can lend its voice to Guyana's cause, make attempts to warn us of what could happen if we don't take stock of ourselves and be vigilant, isn't it time to realize the leaders are going down the wrong road? And you people should join to say something? The Commonwealth is worried where and how Guyana will end up. That's the reason they are lending their voice to our call. What else can you ask for? You guys see why Bara Jagdeo is silent and can't release the information on what's happening in the oil sector? Because he doesn't have it. He doesn't know anything what's going on out there, and he doesn't care to know. His actions is telling me that. This is what is going on in this country. How can the leaders of a country doesn't know the amount of barrels being pumped and the price it is being sold at and collecting royalties, man? How can this ever be possible? Y'all still call this foolishness? Oh yeah? Well then, have a good night. And if my Creator wants to continue blessing all of you from now on for accepting what is going on in this country with ExxonMobil and our government, then he is free to do so. I am not going to beg him anymore. Not tonight for y'all. So I will not say God bless you. I'll just say good night to all of you. And you can keep your God bless for Glenn Lall. I don't need it. Because I will not put up with what is going on in this country. How on heaven's earth you collecting paycheck and you don't know what you getting paid for, man? Which part of this heaven's earth this is an acceptable norm? Which fool, which idiot doesn't know how much money he get or he got forget when the day comes? You know anyone? That's where President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Ashni Singh, Aubrey Norton and Comrade Ram Jatan got us all. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
You got phone calls there, man?
Not as yet, sir.
Hmm?
Not as yet.
Hold the first one now, coming back.
Okay.
Hold. Let me say this. There has not been any successful oil producing nation in Asia and Africa. Left out the Middle East, that hasn't gone bankrupt and left their citizens worse off than before they find oil in their country. Not one. Just 3 years ago, Ghana was the apple of the world's eye, dubbed the fastest growing economy on earth. In 2019, yes, just in 2019, they were dubbed the fastest growing economy on earth. It didn't take them long. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Uncle and Auntie, they're drowning in debt. Yes. 3 years after labeling the fastest economy on earth, bankrupt. Yes. And this is the country that had all the updated laws, rules, policies, regulations, yes, in place. Today, they're begging for loans to feed their people. A few months ago, you guys remember, I showed you how GRA officers stopping taxis on the road, demanding to see the driver's tax certificates. And if they don't produce it, the car is impounded until they fix that. Does that sound like we ganja laws, we government prioritizing rather than the oil laws? Yeah, man. Wasting time behind ganja rather than the money. Good going, Mr. Anil Nandalal. He is the Attorney General. Uncle and Auntie, y'all need firewood to see in the night. Why are you seeing so bright in the day, brother? Exactly. When me and my staff discuss these issues on a daily basis, you don't want to hear what comes out in those meetings. We can't print it in the newspapers, Josh. And I can't say it here. But I think some of you are smart enough to know the language we use to describe some of these leaders we have parading themselves in Guyana. Like I said, I skipped Wednesday night program because it is not easy to have to deal with this life support setup on which the politicians have us hanging on to. It's not easy. Every day dealing with one hemorrhage after another. Man, even a doctor would get sick. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. Let me take the phone calls now. Look what y'all getting full attention. Or look what some of you giving full attention in this country. Blocking down a couple houses for a roadway. Who kill who shoot who, and fire here and there with school burn down. That is what grab you guys' attention, not the oil, the money that could take you out of poverty and enrich this nation for generations to come. Joshua? You're getting royalties in this country? Or you're getting a royal push around in this country? Hmm? Are you sure it's profit sharing in this country? Or racketeering going on in this country, man? Hmm? The royalty you don't know. The profit share, you don't know what method or formula they're using to give you. The billions we're losing on interest rates, you don't know. The billions we're losing without ring fencing provision. Hmm? You don't know the insurance. You don't have insurance to cover you. Decommissioning billions, we don't know. You have no say in the bills and expenses. You have no say on the billions in exploration costs. You have no say in the billions being taken out as depreciation figures. You hear that one? Depreciation figures. You have no say in the billions coming out as administrative fees. Oh gosh. All these are things we got to tell you down the road. And now they're preparing a report to tell us how we get the royalty. Man, Joshua, I ain't able no more, brother. Trust me, I ain't able no more. Tonight you gotta take a break with this thing. It's too much, uncle and auntie. It's too much. Very too much. Basic things we don't know. The most important things we don't know. Hmm?
Good evening, Dr. Lall.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, sir. I guess you enjoy the program?
Yes, as usual.
You hear the kind of madness going on in this country?
Yeah.
Can you believe what you heard there?
Yeah, I'm kind of overwhelmed every time you reveal the perspective that you bring it. I can see the depth of what's taking place, and I'm sure those that are listening also. But I think tonight the Lord led me to tell you that keep up the good work. One day the Lord will say, well done, good and faithful. What has helped me, I think you need to be encouraged that you're doing an excellent job, but look at it from the perspective that what you're doing is a calling from God, and you're doing it first and foremost for God, and the Guyanese people second. That should put things in perspective for you, right? You're doing it for God, and the Guyanese people second. It will all work out.
I want you to know that He also directs me each moment of my life when to take a break to, or don't do a program.
Right.
as much as you say it's my calling, right?
Right.
And I have to do what I have to do. I also
Right.
He also guides me when to take a break. But can you believe, but my friend, can you believe that 3 years this nation pumping oil, we are dubbed the fastest growing economy on earth. And we collecting a little freck, a little change. And the leaders of this land does not know how much oil we pump since 2019 to now and at what price it was sold for. Then what royalty are you collecting? Huh?
Yeah,
What royalty are you collecting?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. Really and truly, what will take place is that Guyana will go the way of every other black oil-producing nation. They're not going to benefit from it unless, as you have stated, the Guyanese people take matters into their own hands and listen to what you're saying and stand up. That's the only way. Otherwise, it will be just as the other nations. Absolutely.
My friend, what is more disgusting is that you hear not a single word from these people's mouths.
Yeah.
Like, as if they don't care. Now, is this foolishness? You believe this is foolishness? Huh?
Dr. Lall, you've got to look at it from a spiritual perspective. The devil is behind all the deception and lies that's taken place, and it seems like the devil has just nations, people in a passive, I don't know, mode where people are not really willing to stand up and fight. I can't call it.
All right.
You know.
All right. Let's say the people are passive. Let's use your way of thinking. They're weak. Okay? They don't have the stamina to get out, to speak, or to get into a protest line. You want to tell me that the politicians of this country, that they elected to govern their resources in the best way possible to benefit them, what happened to their mouth? Huh? Why are they all so silent, my friend? What is going on?
Because they're benefiting, right? Remember, they're getting the fat of the land, so they will always be okay. You really don't care about the population like you do.
All
That's
of them?
why we need, you know.
All of them, my friend?
There's a bigger picture here, Dr. Lall, where you've got what's taking place. I mean, even leaders are being compromised by these massive demon-possessed people that are behind all of this, that's actually pacifying the world. The leaders are either compromised or they, that's what's going on. They're compromised somehow. The ones, that would speak up.
My friend, something has to be done. And something has to be done quickly in this land.
Yeah.
Quickly
I
in this
appreciate
land.
your fight. I appreciate. Don't give up. What you're doing will take fruit one day, and I have confidence that if you continue, I want to come down there and fight with you, no doubt. And if I have to give my life for that, then so be it. But I think we've got to get people that are willing to die for the people, and that's what it takes.
I think Martin Luther King said just before he died, he's worried that he would have brought us into a burning building. And those words is resonating in my mind. I think we are in that building here right now. Because
I wouldn't mind dying for the Guyanese people as long as my death is not in vain, as long as they will continue the fight.
yes, we have to stand up. We have to bind together. We have to bond together and fight this fight.
Yeah.
This thing cannot be left alone. We cannot left these politicians alone. They are not doing anything to benefit us as the true owners of these resources, this wealth.
Absolutely.
No, not at all. Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the fight, my brother. La lucha continua.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Jesus loves you.
I hear you. Josh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Josh, it's mind-boggling, to say the least, of what's going on in this country. How? And you know why the phone, repeat the phone numbers, please.
226-7453 and 226-7454, 622-2222, or 624-6456. 622-2222, 624-6456.
You know, if I am one of the listeners,
Yes.
listen to what Lall just said there, I might be like the whole populace.
Glenn.
Yes, good evening.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening, brother. Enjoying your program here, man.
Thank you.
Brother Glenn, you say that the president, Mr. Ali, and the vice president, Mr. Jagyo, they're not saying anything about the mining, with the drilling with Exxon and so on. And then, let me not go so far. You ask him about the mining contract. Antoine living there like now. He failed the people He failed Guyanese, he failed you. And the whole of Guyana about letting us know who are the rightful people and doing mining in our country, right? I don't know these politicians that we have there, who we vote for, who I vote for, man, personally, and these are the people that we have there to secure our interests, to work for our interests, work for the benefit of all Guyanese. I don't know what these people, what they are really heading, where they are taking this country, man, you know. It bothers me, man. It bothers me to know where we are going. And it bothers me even more to know that so many Guyanese are seeing the end of the tunnel, and yet they're not waking up, man. That really irritated, man, when I look at it in that perspective. But my brother, I listened to your program long, you know, and it reminded me of a story in the Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna was telling Arjuna. So in this story, really, that it was a war, and the set of people, right, have to die. So Lord Krishna was saying to Arjuna, he said, those are my friends. He so know that these people, they are already dead. They are just living. You call them the living dead. So he said, man, let's kill out all these people because they will live and they will create more sin. So, you know, my brother, so the point what I'm trying to
I get you.
say,
I get you. I get
yeah,
the point.
Brother Glenn,
I get the point.
you're doing a wonderful job, man.
get
And
the
you
point.
never feel that people are not with you, right? The Guyanese people are with you, man. I can tell you that, man. Right? And you keep up a good job, man, you know?
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Good, man. You have a wonderful evening, man.
You too. Thank you. I never hear that story, but it's a nice story, Josh.
Yes, it is.
It's a nice story. Let me see. A gentleman, somebody call him in for a number here. Let me see. Let me take this call here too. It's good to have. Repeat the numbers. We must repeat the numbers here.
226-7453.
Good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. You're
This
live.
is Mark over here.
You're
Mark
li-
over here. Am I on to the program live?
Yes, you're live on the program. Yes. Ah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Glenn, and the panel.
Good evening. Good evening.
You know, they had this man we used to the founder for the 2020 cricket, a man by the name of Adam Stanford.
Yes, Alan Stanford.
And that man was such a rich, wealthy man. You know, he had his cricket in Antigua there, and this thing was so nice.
He was a gangster.
But he was a gangster. Look where he is today, behind bars.
Yeah.
And I believe it's just like what happened to him there, worse with what these leaders is allowing this country going to happen, because it is clear, crystal clear. You could see, like an X-ray. When you watch these leaders, Jagdev and Ali, and what they are allowing ExxonMobil to do, it's you're seeing this is gangsterism, this is thievery, this is, man, I can't find enough words to describe what they are. You tell me, you ever seen Jagdev take over this oil sector when they win this election? You ever hear Jagdev or Ali or the Minister of Natural Resource ever said anything that we gotta pull in ExxonMobil for this because we get a bad contract and we gotta get this, we gotta get this from them, and we gotta make sure the country get this and we can benefit more? No time. These leaders never said nothing that we could gain something as a country from this oil wealth we have there. All Jagdev is talking. They will enjoy the same benefits.
They have
in
been.
the Starbuck block. Everything he's
Yes.
saying, they will enjoy. And the man using this word so nice, they will enjoy. What Guyanese people enjoying, man?
Exactly.
What are we enjoying from this $1 trillion wealth we have out there? When I see Ali, we interviewed Ali and this Algeria journalist, American, when he been on a program there. You know, this white man was so excited and said, what about this billions of barrel discovery? Mr. President, are you excited? This man would turn and say, these stories not about oil. These stories about other things like their own planting. Man, they're diverting everything. These people, every time they open the mouth, they're exposing what they are doing to us.
When you talk about oil in this country, my brother, you're offending them.
They don't want to hear nobody say nothing about oil. They talk about everything else.
You're offending them.
Nothing about the oil. You're touching them deep when you talk about
A matter of fact, we used to offend, when you talk about oil, you used to even offend the coalition government. You didn't hear Ramjatan tell Christopher.
Farm party.
If I want better in the oil, I farm political party. Well, I see now they're picking up with 1-2 stuff. Tomorrow we are carrying a story in the Kaieteur News in which the PNC is saying they're moving to the PAC, the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament, to see how they can ring Exxon to bring all the bills and all the expenses, all cost oil, to Parliament for them to scrutinize it. Let's see how far they will get with that. We're carrying that story tomorrow. But at least it's a stepping stone.
Yes, it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, because that's one of the key area in which Guyana is being in which Guyana neck is being chopped off. The bills and expenses.
But you know, when these people, the opposition, open their mouth, I don't believe nothing they say. Just like the government, because they made the mistake by signing the contract. And they could say, look, the people, we made that mistake now, and we want you to come out against what this government is doing. We got to get a better deal. Bring the people out in the thousands and join you.
Exactly.
But they ain't doing that.
Exactly.
They're hanging them out with a soup dropping.
Exactly.
And they're getting it good, some big arrow dropping in the mouth done by them. You understand? So when they talk something, it's just a sham. I see that. It's a sham all the time. You understand? We can do this, we can do that, but all of them and the government is one. We don't have opposition then. We don't have opposition. They are one. ExxonMobil got all of them in their hands. You ever see the movie King Kong, the big monkey with the got? And a little young woman in the hand? That is how the ExxonMobil got all of them. The ExxonMobil is the monkey, the big King Kong. And the opposition and the PPP, all of them, they in ExxonMobil hand. It's really people. Gotta wake them up, and we gotta do what we gotta do and let them realize. And all of them gotta go to jail. Go to jail, because what they're doing is treason.
I am here with you.
People of this country, I'm telling you.
I am here with you on that.
Man, I tell you, you can't find water despite it.
Exactly.
But you don't give up.
Thank you.
You keep pounding it, it's sinking deep in. And things don't gotta come. I see the writer in America call on President Joe Biden. I hope Joe Biden listening to this program, and he will be able to do something, because this what's going on here to the Guyanese people is not fair. It's not fair.
I hear you, brother.
These leaders got to get jail. They got to get jail. They got to get jail.
I hear you. We should walk around with some placards saying jail them. Jail them. Yes.
Anyhow, let
jail
me give
them.
somebody else a chance.
Thank you.
And you have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Yes, good evening. Hello.
Good night. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good night. Good night.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful program, Glenn.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. Do you know what is the new deal that Brazil has for the offshore oil blocks? Do you know how much percentage Brazil is getting from the offshore oil blocks, the new blocks there?
No, I know.
It's 74%. It's 74%. Right? It's 74% Brazil is getting.
I know. I just know their total take is 56%.
No, it was 56.
So now
the new deals they're getting from the offshore oil blocks is 74%.
good,
Right?
great. And well,
I got the information from Oil Now. From Oil Now, they're saying that the new production, the agreement with Brazil for the oil blocks is 74%. And our leaders are still accepting 40.5%, and they're approving new projects after new projects. This is madness. Like the brother just said, we the Guyanese people have to come out and stop these people. This is madness to the highest level. Like you were saying, like you've been preaching for the past 2 years plus. The Guyanese people have to wake up. Our leaders think this is Africa in the 1970s and 1980s. We are not going to tolerate it. We are not going to allow them to get away with this madness. We, the Guyanese people, are waking up, and we will. You keep on doing the good work, my brother. Keep on educating the Guyanese people. Keep on doing this program, and keep on educating Guyanese and let them know what's going on.
I hear
The
you.
Guyanese are slowly waking up. We'll wake up.
Thank
Right?
you. Thank you.
Wonderful program. You keep on doing it, and we will triumph.
Thank you.
We
Thank
will
you.
triumph. Good will triumph over evil every single day.
Yes, I believe in that.
Oh,
Thank you.
and it's Danny's birthday. It's Danny's birthday. Happy birthday, Danny.
Thank you.
Caller, you there? Good evening. Hello? I seem to lost that caller there. Remember, you can call us on 226-7453, 226-7454.
Good evening. You're live on the air.
I have another.
Oh,
Okay, I have one here. Let me just
Take
take
it.
it. Caller, good evening and welcome. Thank you for holding.
Hi. Good night, Mr. Glenn.
good night.
Good night, Mr. Glenn.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Mr. Glenn, I think we should meet back a protest and watch. You see all them loan where you see they're barring, Mr. Glenn. They can't get away with this and left all them burden for we back with this generation, them coming behind. Mr. Glenn, they got to go in jail. Yeah, I telling you, listen to me. Yeah, the man just say ready for come out and put his life. I is one of them decide for come out and put my life in front. For these banners have to go in jail for these things because we can't pay back the money where they're taking their money and push it in their pocket and borrowing loan for chop on we back. That would never work, Mr. Glenn. Yeah, what I'm telling you?
I hear you.
They're doing things barefaced. They think like people is that jackass or some junkie way back in the late 60s and 50s. You see him barefaced, Jack the guy on TV and telling people we can't get $1 million. Then the alley turning and saying, no, them are talking about the other resources. They're just talking about oil. Who does get these other resources money, Mr. Glenn? Where these money going for years, bauxite, gold, diamond, timber? Who's collecting these money? Mr. Glenn, listen to me. This protest have to go on back, and you see the opposition and saying nothing. The people them have to come out. We have to come out and let put these people to their place. Let them know that we serious. When you see you go out on the road there when the day come for us, there are people crying out all over, people hungry and bad in this place, and what's up there, the easy days white watching. When you go around the market area, the kind of price for sweet potato and provision. Most of the celery is $2,000 pound and all them things, and these things planting right here. They need a price control for getting to the market area and see these farmers what they're really doing, telling people rain and rain. And crap on this and that, trying to raise price and make money and pressuring their own mati. This thing is not right where you see Guyana planting and all them things, what them provision pumpkin and all them things, what the price of these things.
And look the money you have. And look the money you have. Look the money that is leaving this country on a daily basis.
Yeah, and they come in and telling people we can't get $1 million a month. And then one of them calling from garden show, you have to call and put it in place. And you have to tell them don't worry Wednesday or Tuesday morning. But though we have to you pronounce it on the internet, on the TikTok. One they're picking you up all the time and saying, but we can't. One with them other than gold, other than and oil. One with all these other resources.
My friend,
we supposed to get in $1 million a month, Mr. Glenn. I get with you there.
my friend, if the government and the opposition only fix a few little things without touching the oil contract, because they said this oil contract is pegged with sanctity inside. Let's don't even touch that. I am saying change, correct a couple things, 4 or 5 things within that within the business deal. Trust me, man. Trust me, you can give people more than $1 million a month.
Mr. Glenn, I there with you with the protest here, and I think we need back a protest because you see nobody rising up. Yeah, I had done tell you already, when you see here these kind of things, if it wasn't for the law, here all them would have done there already. I telling you.
Radio.
From top to bottom, opposition, all them watch out not, nobody is saying nothing from people's behalf. And this nation, Guyana, and watch out none of them, nobody is saying nothing. All they're doing is crying out, begging for one another for $100 when you go about big market area. Nobody is selling nothing when the day come every day down there. Yeah? Everybody left stand up, so nobody is making a move for several lock down this tongue here, so.
Thank you, my friend.
Out of fishing business, with the trawler supposed to block in the Demerara River, because the trawler can't walk for catch fish.
It's true.
Yeah, I tell you, you don't hear them and saying nothing, and they're out of job. You was Suriname president tell them how much money they got paid for their fishing. Yeah?
Yes, I see it.
This dotishness and jackassness. I never hear president run place and watch how the allies there. These money right for separating like if them is leader and is a pack of fucking shit.
Right. Man, you can't cut him off. My friend, you cannot do that. You're on a radio live. You don't want this program continue. You want to shut down the radio station. But I understand how you feel. And I'm happy that you feel that way. I'm glad that you even talk about the fishing industry. The fishermen them called me a few days ago. We carried the story in the newspaper in which Suriname want $1 million for their fishing license if you want to fish in their country. So this is where we are. The 5th project is coming. There's so much I could tell you about this 5th project. As a matter of fact, I could tell you now, the 5th project, the fishing industry would be completely disappear. You know, right now you're getting little fine banga and little fine stuff. When 3 and 4 start, you might find every 1 mile in the Atlantic Ocean, you might find a little banga or a little snapper. When the 5th project start, you might have to go look for the name in some other country that called banga or snapper, because there will be nothing. That's a story we carried just the other day too. Man, there's so many things I have to tell you on this radio. When the day comes, that I just can't begin to express myself with what will become of Guyana and all of us. Tomorrow we have another story going in which Guyana is dumping six ball field of sewage into the Demerara River on a daily basis. 6 ball field. Guess what? When they start dumping the filth from 3, 4 and 5 out there, you would have to add another 6 ball field. That's what they will be dumping in the Atlantic Ocean. And the story is saying that we need billions to rectify the system to purify the water we drink in. Oh boy. Yes, good evening. I see your call back. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Lall.
Yes.
I just like the Guyanese people to know that they have to stand up now and hold the government, the administration accountable, people that they have hired to do work for them. And number two, there are more of them than the leaders. You're greater in numbers. So stand up. You've got to rise up. Like Dr. Lall, spread Dr. Lall's message. Tell people discourse. You've got to spread the word. God loves you all. Jesus loves you.
I hear you. I hear you. Have a good one. Have a good one. With that, we can say good night to everyone. Yes, we can. You have had enough. I don't want to fill your heads with more to give you a headache and go to bed. So, until Monday, Tata, see you guys.